Sound check 1 2. 1 2. Sound check. Sound check 1 2. Testing 2. Two.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Do I have a representative from the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, man? Okay.
cannabis. Doctor say make a pop one of this. Make me fly like say I'm Aladdin. Come bring some kind melodies. Oh, mama, myself no do pass like this. So many things inside of my jeans. Slide down, DBTs, DBTs.
ladies and gentlemen. Great, great. Okay.
provide long-term financial support at very low interest rates to small, medium, and large enterprises in Nigeria's real sectors. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector. At the Bank of Industry, we provide long-term financial support at very low interest rates to small, medium, and large enterprises in Nigeria's real sectors. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, that is me on the screen. It feels good to see the back of my head. All the time, what I do is, being on TV is oftentimes a wonderful privilege. You get to see how, whether you are photogenic or you are not photogenic, as the case might be. And so I want to say a big thank you. I'm very excited because I see the Kogi team in the house here. Please, can we give it up for the Kogi people here? Patewa, how do you say clap your hands in Kogi? I'm very sure you have like 32 tribal, variants to that particular. And we're very glad to have you guys in the house here. It's so exciting to see that you are here with the whole team to identify with such a wonderful landmark as this particular event is. And it gives me great delight to officially welcome you all. Kogi State is an amazing state. I know I met with the executive chairman of the Ajaokuta local government. Every single time you hear Ajaokuta, the thing that just jumps into your head is steel. And how much and how far have we gone with that steel industry? It is a particular interest for me because if we're looking at the industrialization campaign that as a country we have been, exploring, and it has been on the table for as long as it has been, one will wonder if truly we will be able to get it right in that regard. I'm very sure if that happens in fulsomeness, I'm going to relocate to Ajaokuta, because I want to be a contractor in that aspect of it all. You see what is going on, especially in the automobile industry, as the case might be, where we have seen so much in terms of coupling, in terms of building cars in silos, and today, we're beginning to identify with certain brands that are Nigerian brands. Tanya is reverberating. Certain brands that are Nigerian brands. And that itself is something we should be very proud of. And of course, the National Institute of Credit Administration, which is obviously chartered by Act of Parliament number 1018 of 2022, is one we also should be very proud of as a matter of fact. Please, can we put our hands together for ourselves for making this a wonderful, wonderful engagement. Well, my name is Stephen Ipalibo Lawson. I host the NTA Business Matters TV program, like I said earlier on, and I have the singular privilege of being your anchor man for today's event. But before I go ahead, I will just simply ask that the NICA Vice President and Vice Chairman of Council, Dr. Mrs. Maki Udowu, FICA, she's the MD of Express Payment Solutions Limited. They're one of our sponsors and supporters. And to please come to the front. We can allow you to sit on the fourth row. Please put your hands together for this lovely, delightful, indefatigable lady. Thank you very much for your recommendations. I'm very honored to be given the privilege of being a part of this wonderful unveiling. And I know that you are an award recipient. Of recent, you were given an award at the Nigerian FinTech Award ceremony. And she's a very intelligent woman who, as a matter of fact, moderated a panel section. And it was on the spot like that. That's to tell you the fact that even credit administration is all female in that sense. Without the women, the world is not balanced. Am I correct or am I not correct? I know it's the women who say loudest. The men themselves are trying to find a voice. Men, don't worry. The women themselves know that without the men, nothing balances out. And so we are working together as a team to make this whole thing work. Because you see, when women handle money, it is better explained. But when men handle money, Asako, Yusuf, you know what we're talking about. Because it's even the women who collect it at the end of the day. They make it work as a matter of fact. So please, give it up for the women. Please put your hands together one more time for the women in the house. Please let it be on record that I support women today. Before you people think that we have some other ulterior agenda, under our sleeves. But then again, I see that the NICA President, Chairman of Council, Mr. Andy Oj, is still seated where he's not supposed to be sitting. Please, sir, can you kindly come up to the front? Please put your hands together for him. He's a gentleman, director at Union Bank, a man that I'm very honored to have met today. Making some of these acquaintances, as a matter of fact, in my profession as a PRO person, as well as a TV host and corporate master of ceremony, gives me the privilege to have access to lovely people like yourselves. And I hope that we'll have a future where I can have some of you on my show. Let's begin to take this thought leadership beyond where we are. And today's event is about an unveiling of what I would consider a major landmark. It's a major landmark because it is a long time coming. When I was undergoing some research to anchor this particular event, I was told it took about 30 years. And I'm very sure that must have been from the inception of the association. Now, for something you're going to be doing for that long, it means that if you had given a birth to a child, by now that child would have made you a grandfather or a grandmother. Am I right or am I not right? And today, NICA itself is indeed the mother of all professions. So as a matter of fact, NICA is giving birth to all kinds of children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren in this field and in this practice. And that gives us a whole lot of, a beam of what the future holds. It means the future is brighter than what we're facing today. The only reason is because we're beginning to get things right, whether in terms of standards, whether in terms of ethics, whether in terms of procedures, operations, or whatever platform it is we're leveraging on to make sure that we do what is right. Now, Nigeria can be better than it is today if every single professional in their own field is able to, as a matter of fact, subscribe to certain code of ethics. And this ethics is what distinguishes you from, some people you might call quack, as the case is. So, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that NICA is now a chartered institution, so to speak, it means that we are going to be getting things right and putting things in the proper space. Whether you're talking about business or trade credit, is one of the things that we cannot deny any longer, that has been a major demerit of our society at large, economic-wise. A lot of people access loans and then go borrowing, and yet we realize that sometimes the proper credit procedures or processes are never followed. And then we find a situation whereby sometimes the banks majorly have a challenge in terms of balancing their books. How are we going to be able to do that is to ensure that we have an institution like this that has the resolution and the commitment to ensure that the credit management profession is one that is quite robust, that is to a better place as a country, as a and like we earlier mentioned, we're expecting the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Buhari, as a matter of fact, that association professional he has taken up to give his nod, not just his nod, his honorous presence. And it's going to be a huge surprise to tell you for a lot of us who obviously realize that when you have the presidency backing some of these things, it's important because it means that it's a national concern that is going to take us from where we are, mediocrity, to the place of true professionalism. And earlier on, I'd mentioned that we have a Wi-Fi code. Please let me take that again. The 4-point conference internet access code has the password LKJHG. That is L for Lawson, K for King, J for Jesus, H for house, and G for great. So please, all in capitals, just in case you want to avail yourself of the bandwidth here at 4 Point by Sheraton. I also would like to quickly announce that somebody is mindful, and please put your phone on silent. Important to attract our fellow delegates. Today's event is supposed to be a short one, and I can assure you that we're going to be leaving here in good time. My intention is to close up today's event on or before 7 p.m. so that we can all quickly be on our way. Oh, sorry. Okay, 7 p.m. is not early enough. We can make it 9 p.m., but not to mind me. We're going to get out of here in good time. what you need to do. But I must quickly, one more time again, congratulate and say a big thank you to our sponsors, Bank of Industry, Platform. Limited. Please put your hands together for these 10 wonderful sponsors. Example, if not, your company might go into insolvency. That one always works. Nigerians, you have to push them before they do what they have to do. But still, you guys should help my ministry and make sure we support one of these people. It's not easy to bring out money in these very trying times for you to identify with a program as wonderful as this. And that is to tell you that most sponsors are actually leaders, brand leaders in their own space. Sponsorship is not a waste of money, I can tell you for sure. It's a money well invested, and that is money that will obviously bring about a return of investment. And interestingly enough, it has gone through credit processes as well, so that you can be rest assured that it has the stamp of NICA to it. And so thank you very much, our sponsors. I would like to say a big thank you also to the media in the house here. Without media, we can't take the story beyond this room. Media is too important, as a matter of fact. Every investment in media is an investment that is rightly put in terms of what categorization you might be looking at. And I want to say a big thank you to Leadership Newspaper. We say a big thank you to Guardian Newspaper. Of course, Vanguard Newspaper. We have NSCS TV and then NTA as well. Thank you very much for being here. We're trusting you to take the story beyond where we are. I understand that we also have online participants. We want to say a big thank you to every single one of you who are joining us online. We recognize you. And I think since after the COVID, things changed. A lot of things actually opened up. As a matter of fact, I'm very sure that the MDC of Express Payment Solutions will tell you that things began to be much more digitally, focused. And people were able to trade so much because they had all kinds of e-money, so to speak. Now we have the e-naira from the central bank. And a lot of this helped us to actually address or close the gap during the COVID period. And it was a very tough time for a lot of us. Unfortunately, some people lost their life. May God rest their souls. But we are here today, and COVID has changed the way we do business. And there's no better time for us to be a chartered body than now, where everything is digital. So the opportunity to leapfrog in terms of development, the opportunity to leapfrog in terms of skills advancement is here for us to take an advantage of. And I think NICA is well positioned, as a matter of fact, to help us, get to the point where we all be very much proud and of. And the contribution to wealth of the country is a contributory role that every single unit of the economy actually places. And so if a professional is well qualified to handle what it is on his or her desk, it means that the output at the end of the day will meet up with corporate vision. And when companies themselves maximize their limited resources, what does that translate into? It translates into something that will be an impact on the bottom line. And if that happens, corporate citizens must definitely pay taxes to the government. Government needs to build infrastructure and enable business environment. For them to do that, you need the taxes and other source of revenue. So you see, we're all together in an integrated fashion. Whether it's a diversified campaign that we're looking at in terms of an inclusive spirit, or whether we are pursuing policies or programs or solutions within the context of the SDGs, what it means is that one arm contributing its own, the other arm contributing its own, will help us to be able to get the country to where it is. So if Nigeria fails, every one of us failed. If Nigeria succeeds, every one of us succeeds. Because when the accolades is out there, everybody identifies with the fact that, oh, you're a Nigerian. And that is because you guys, you beat Portugal in your friendly or whatever it is, you get that. All of that is identified with us, as a matter of fact. So you play a major role as credit administrators and the credit managers to ensure that you do the right thing at the right time, and that itself will translate to Naira value. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, I want to say a big thank you, and thank you very much for the opportunity and privilege that you've accorded me to make sure that we're able to chart today's event to the fulsome conclusion as the case is. Well, as you all know, we have different presentations that are going to be holding on today, and those presentations themselves are going to be one that is going to still be focused on credit. We have one of the keynote speakers in the house that is going to be making that presentation exactly. Please, I would like to quickly ask, and I think he looks very familiar. The more I look at him, and the way he's smiling, you know that it looks like he's a man. I've paid my debts. My credit report is very good. And that, I'm very sure, is the director of corporate affairs of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. I'm correct? Mr. Ambrose Oruche, you are in the house. Please put your hands together for him. I noticed you. I think the last time we were, it was at an event, sometimes at the VCP, and we got talking about so much. It's good to see you, sir. You will be making a keynote presentation. The manufacturers are very important. I know a lot of the challenges we are facing as an economic interest, but we can't throw away the baby with the bathwater. We must find a way to be able to create some kind of balance so that at the end of the day, we are all happy together. Well, quickly, I'll be coming back to you, but before I do that, I will ask my very technical friend to help us with some of the adverts of our sponsors that was being played earlier on. So give me some few moments. As soon as I get the official nod, we are going to kick off into the program officially and then wrap up on or before 2 o'clock, as the case is. If you've not had breakfast or tea, please kindly do that right away. And please network with one another is important. That is the reason why we are here. My name is Stephen Ipalibo Lawson. Thank you very much for your apt attention. Please put your hands together for me. Please, 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 please. Thank you, thank you. I will just go and take some water to wet my tongue so that we are able to have a good time. So over to you, David, as soon as we're done, Daniel, and we'll get off the program officially. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
At the Bank of Industry, we provide long-term financial support at very low interest rates to small, medium, and large enterprises in Nigeria's real sectors. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
Daniel, thanks. All right. Can you hear me at the back? Can you hear me? I think my voice is a little bit faint. Please, can you move forward? Please move forward. Ushers, please ask the delegates at the back to please move forward, or the guests or invitees. Please kindly move forward. Just let's leave that back row for those who will be coming back later. Please fill up this first 10 rows. Please kindly do that, without which we can't start. Thank you. All right, I know some of us have had breakfast, so we have energy. Please move forward. Thank you, thank you. People who like sitting at the back, those are the people who just remind you of what secondary school was like. You know, those guys who will be sitting down, the matured young students. No, 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 I was in the front seat. I was one when after the school bell closes, I have to run home. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is a wonderful moment for every single one of us. Just like you and I know that I talk for a living, I can talk from now till tomorrow. But you're sure that today is not about me. Today is about this wonderful institute that is now chartered by Act of Parliament number 1018 of 2022. And we are here at the unveiling, which, as a matter of fact, is one that is a landmark achievement of both the leadership as well as the council of the institute, the National Institute of Credit Administration. It doesn't come easy because it takes a whole lot of effort to be able to pull this together. I can imagine how the journey must have been, some of the challenges that you have to face, all of the flight and the travels you have to embark on to Abuja, and then have the president actually sign this to law. Is one that I think deserves a resounding applause one more time. Please put your hands together for the management and the council of this wonderful institute. It's an institute that we're all proud of, just as we've claimed, and it's true, we're the mother of all professions, because this credit administration, as a matter of fact, cuts across all of that. And it gives me great delight to identify with this wonderful, wonderful, glorious moment, and that we have all witnessed as the case might be. And so at this point in time, I would like to quickly invite the following individuals to please come up to the high table here to join me, as a matter of fact. And first and foremost, the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, made to understand, is going to be ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Mrs. Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed. She's going to be joining us. Apparently, there are several roles that she is playing on behalf of the President, and we're glad that the Presidency is ably represented here. And so we want to say a big thank you to the Commander-in-Chief for wonderful things he has done for the Institute by ensuring that this has been signed into law. But then again, I would like to quickly invite NICA President and Chairman of Council, Mr. Andy Oj, FICA. He's the Director of Union Bank as well. Please put your hands together for him as he comes up and takes his seat on the high table. Please watch your step. I'm not sure we have insurance. I said it. Okay. No, you can sit there, sir. Thank you very much. You know, you can hear his laughter. It's very credit at that. You know, that's a voice that when they are going to the bank for you to go and take some loan, and the man is smiling like that, you know that you are in the good books. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, President. I greatly honor you for being here on time. It's the true representation of what the African time is. Next, I would like to invite the NICA Registrar and Chief Executive Officer, Professor Chris Onalo, FICA, to please come up right now. Please put your hands together for him. Is Prof here? Okay, I was wondering. Okay, please, to join him is his wonderful, lovely wife, Mrs. Eileen Onalo. Okay, Madam, you're welcome. Huh? I'm going to be very careful at this point in time. But you see, Prof is a credit lover. And you see the way he's leading his madam up to the podium. We are glad to have you here, sir. Behind a successful man is definitely a successful woman. Women are the ones who make things happen for us. And I can tell you, no, Prof, this way. Yeah, you can sit there next to President. Yes, you sit there. Madam will sit on your left. Thank you very much. Please watch your step. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're welcome. This is interesting. And it gives me great delight to also invite to the high table the Managing Director, Express Payment Solutions Limited. She is the NICA Vice President and Vice Chairman of Council, Dr. Mrs. Maki Idowu, FICA. Please put your hands together for her. Wow, this is amazing. This is great. Thank you very much, ma. Please watch your step. I have to make sure I keep announcing that because sometimes it's a little bit of a careful thing. Now, you see, the beautiful thing of the fact that we have distinguished individuals in our midst. We're very honored to have every single one of you seated here. And the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, is ably represented here by his Chief of Staff, Honorable Pharmacist Abdul Karim Mohammed Jamil Asuku. Please put your hands together for him as he takes a seat beside the Vice President. You're welcome, sir. I'm very sure that we will get some executive concerns in terms of Ajakuta's credit rating so that we can move on to the next point as the case is. And ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, Architect Dairos Ishaku, ably represented here by the Executive Deputy Governor, Engineer Aruna Manu, is in the house here, I hope, because I know his rep is here. Okay, so as soon as he comes in and joins us, I'm going to invite him to the high table. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, I will have to do some quick recognition. These recognitions are individuals who themselves are fully distinguished. And in other words, I would like to quickly say a big thank you to every single one of you here. We're all important. But allow me to recognize the NICA Governing Council members. I have here Dr. Felix Amiofori, FICA, MD CEO of Entech Integrated Resources Limited. Please can we put our hands together for him? You're welcome, sir. Engineer Owoyemi Alaba, FICA Group Executive Director, Century Group. Please can we put our hands together for him? I know I saw him earlier on. He must have gone ahead to go and conclude on that business deal that he has on ground. Also would like to quickly recognize and honor, I know he was in the house earlier on, that is Dr. Akintoye Akindele is the founder CEO of Platform Capital. Very sure he's outside trying to still conclude on some business transaction. Please allow me to recognize the DG and CEO of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Shego Ajayi Kadri, ably represented here by the Director of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Ambrose Oruche. Please put your hands together for him. You're welcome, sir. Please come to the front. You're needed to sit in the front. Please, can the ushers, please direct him to come to the front. No, you must come, Alaji. You always want to escape this one. This one you won't. Please, usher, follow him and let him come to the front. Every time I anchor an event, he will always be, you know, me and him have a code, but this time I'm going to break that code. Thank you very much. We must give honor to whom honor is due. Thank you so very much. You're welcome. And to join him, our next keynote speaker is the managing consultant of Oracle Limited, is one of our sponsors. That is Mr. John Anirubi, FACA. Please, can you put your hands together for him? You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Please, you can take a seat near your colleague or you're comfortable there. Okay, all right. You I can allow to, you know, go. All right, I would like to quickly recognize Mr. Makomba Omoile. I hope I got that right. Omoile is the Director of Union Bank. Please, can you put your hands together for him? Is he in the house? Can you show with, okay, you're welcome, sir. Ekabo, sir. As well as Damilola Oweye, I hope I got that right. Oweye, okay, all right. Congratulations to you. He's representing Stanbic IPTC. Please put your hands together for him. All right, I would also like to recognize Dr. Adebola Olubanjo, is the Executive Chairman, Adebola Sobanjo. Please, can you put your hands together for him? You're welcome, sir. Great. And definitely, it gives me great delight to also recognize Joyce Ugen of Total Energies Marketing Nigeria. Please put your hands together for her. Thank you very much for your honor. I must do that. Ladies and gentlemen, please quickly let me also recognize the different bank MDs in the house. As soon as I have them, I will definitely recall them by their name. But I want to say a big thank you to every single one of you, as well as the NICA Company Secretary. Please, can we put our hands together for Barrister Diane Okoko? She's Principal Partner, Marcos Okoko and Company. You're welcome, madam. It's good to see you. Well, you see, with this kind of event, you always need the blessing of the good Lord. And we know that we have our Lord's temporal and spiritual in our midst. I would like to say a big thank you and welcome to Reverend Dr. Titus Mbekwe. Please, can you put your hands together for him? As well as Reverend Dr. Francis Okerembo. Please put your hands together for him. You're welcome, sir. God bless you all for making this, for honoring our invitation. But you see, the Kogi State team actually came to represent. They are saying the fact that Kogi is a place for you to explore and invest. And it gives me great delight to please kindly recognize Baron Okoli, the Honorable Commissioner for Transport, Kogi State. Please, can you put your hands together for him? Of course, Honorable Kelani Olumo, Member, Kogi House of Assembly. Please put your hands together for him. You're welcome. Wemi Jones, Commissioner, Education, Science and Tech, Kogi State. Please put your hands together for him. Engineer Aminu Abdurazak, Special Advisor Domestic. Please put your hands together for him. Great. We have Honorable Akaba Mustafa. All right, he's in the house. Executive Chairman at Jalkuta LGA. Please put your hands together for him. Okay, I was looking at him actually. And of course, Honorable Shehu Amodu is in the house as well. He's the member rep of a full state constituency. Please put your hands together for him. And definitely, council leader of Kobo Bono local government, that's Honorable Towo Nifemi Mosiko. Please put your hands together for her, because that name is a mouthful. That name, if I go to the bank, then we have to check my credit again. You know, but you're welcome. Kogi State is a lovely state, and we are honored to have you representing us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say every single person seated here today is very important. And so please, can we all put our hands together for ourselves, please? All right, like I said earlier on, I can talk from now to tomorrow, but you are not here to listen to me. We're here to unveil and have a good time as well. NICA itself has demonstrated that it's a leader in its own right. It has demonstrated the fact that this landmark achievement is one that there will always be a testament to a starting point. And of course, I want to. Okay, yeah, the Deputy Governor for Taraba State is here. Please put your hands together for him. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so very much. All right, this is interesting. I know I anchored an event where I had the governor, as a matter of fact, but here we have, as the case might be. And of course, I would like to recognize Honorable Tim Zachary, also from Taraba State. Please, can you put your hands together for him? Tom, is it Tom? The person who wrote this is a doctor. He thinks I'm a pharmacist. Please make sure you give me your call card. Don't come and write Tim here where you meant to write Tom. Please, my apologies, Honorable Tom. You must check that man out. He has to go for medical certification. Well, it's good to have you all here because it's an amazing experience for me. So we are so honored to have all of these executive individuals who are identifying with the unveiling of today's event. The MD Heritage Bank is ably represented here by Osei Ben Willie, the Executive Director. Please, can you put your hands together for him? Where is he? Please, can you do a show of hands? Okay, my dear, please forgive me. Some of these names are very, very impressive. But you're welcome, madam. It's good to have the banks here. Please, as soon as we have other MDs, please kindly bring them to my attention. We must recognize you all. You are the ones who will definitely carry this particular story far beyond what we are doing today. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great delight that one of the ways I'm going to have to make sure that we have a good time is to be sure that we have very timely. And so, I would like to quickly ask that we all be upstanding for the national anthem. Please, Daniel, can we have that? Please, may we all be upstanding for the national anthem? Thank you. Please, you may be seated. The President and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, and ably represented by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget, and National Planning, Dr. Mrs. Zainab Muhammad, the Executive Governors of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, ably represented by the Chief of Staff, Honorable Pharmacist Abdul Karim Mohammed Jamiu Asuku, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, Architect Dairos Ishaku, ably represented here by the Executive Deputy Governor, Engineer Haruna Manu, distinguished captains of industry and permanent secretaries, members of NICA Governing Council, Members of the NICA Board of Fellows, the President Chairman of Council, Mr. Andy Oje, FICA, the Vice President, Dr. Mrs. Maki Idowu, FICA, the immediate past President and Chairman of the Council, all special guests of honor, fellows, members, associates of NICA and students of credit management, my lords, temporary and spiritual, gentlemen of the press, and ladies and gentlemen, I hereby set the protocol for today's event. As it is, we're here at the unveiling, and I want to please quickly announce, kindly put your phones on silent so that we do not have any distractions at any given point in time. There is no denying the fact that, indeed, the credit business, or credit management as the case may be, is the mother of other professions. And here we are unveiling the Chartered Act of the Parliament, number 1018 of 2022, for the National Institute of Credit Administration. Indeed, making credit a way of life for the society is the way to go, because credit costs across every single industry. How we are going to be able to gauge our business success or failure will depend on how we embrace credit management as a business operations and, of course, as a lifestyle when it comes from the corporate angle. But there's no better person to help us do justice to this particular issue than a man that I'm very much honored to introduce. He is a man who has received professional recognition for his relentless and sustained effort in the development of world-class credit management curriculum, intellectualization of credit management, as well as globalization of the growth of credit management profession from 2 foreign universities. Ladies and gentlemen, is indeed the indefatigable professor of credit management with a very strong passion for knowledge impartation, a man of vision with creative enterprise who knows how to spot a vacuum and certainly make sure it fills that hole. He has definitely, with sheer hard work, insightfulness, focus, leadership spirit, has taken the story of what we are here today to witness. Please, can you put our hands together as I invite to the podium the Registrar CEO, Professor Chris Onalo, FICA, as he comes up to give his welcome address. Thank you very much, Sam. You might want to use the table mic.
Stephen, you have almost become one of us. Maybe I should induct you as an associate or member or fellow of the Institute. Well done. Good morning, everyone. Is there anyone here who has ever given, taken or managed credit business, financial credit, political credit for economic empowerment, consumer credit, international credit, or any person who in the course of performing his or her duties in the past, present, or future has influenced or is likely to influence the process of business or economic policy drafting, which can or may lead to credit availability, credit assessment, credit worthiness determination, and mitigation. Is there anyone here? So think. Such a person is fit and proper to become member of the National Institute of Credit Administration. He or she can be a fellow, member, or associate of the Institute, making credit management the mother of other professions. I wish I can induct anyone here who has qualified for this. Thank you very much for that. This is the definition on which basis we admit people into this profession. The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, here represented by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Mrs. Zainab Samsuna Ahmed, who will soon be joining us. The Executive Governor of Lagos State, I'm told, on his way. Executive Governor of Kogi State, represented here by the Chief of Staff. The Executive Governor of Osun State, whom I'm told is on the way. I've just spoken with the Chief of Staff. The Executive Governor of Taraba, here represented by the Deputy Governor. Distinguished captains of industry, members of the NICA Governing Council, the National Patron of NICA in absentia, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, members of the NICA Board of Fellows, the President, Chairman of Council, and the OJ, FICA, the President, Dr. Mrs. Makia Idowu, FICA, the Vice President, rather, the immediate past President of the Institute, Dr. Oyetunji Oyebanji, all special guests of honor, fellows, members, associates of NICA, and students of credit management, members of the press, my lords, temporal and spiritual, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to welcome each and every one here this morning to this very special event of unveiling the National Institute of Credit Administration Establishment Act number 1018 of 2022 to the public in the year that we celebrate 3 decades of our existence as an institute. May I express my profound gratitude to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, who is represented here today by the very amiable, calm, and gentle Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget, and National Planning, Mrs. Dr. Zainab Samsuna Ahmed, for accepting to be here with us today. I humbly welcome the executive governors represented here. I also wish to express profound gratitude to friends and associates from private sector who are here today. By implication, this is an important day for Nigeria credit industry, a major milestone in our drive to build a resilient credit economy. Members of the National Institute of Credit Administration are excited to host this event today. I must admit that this is also a special day for me and my wife, Helen, as this is one of those few occasions that, because of the super importance of NICA Enabling Act, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has to come to unveil NICA Act formally to the nation. I must say, Mr. President, that your affection, your trust, and confidence to support this great novel institute is no doubt a strength to the economy as a whole, as Nigeria moves from credit-based economy to, from cash-based economy to credit system. We are looking forward to a bigger and greater professionalism in the practice of credit management and being able to equally influence the direction of the economy, and so that this country can sit comfortably in the committee of nations that practices credit economy. Let me emphasize here that credit economy creates wealth, create jobs, and create greater security and protection for the nation more than hitherto we have seen in our country. And I'm so happy also to stress that the state governments that are here today, your presence is not accidental. You are going to go home to look at critical areas in your governance system that will encourage and promote this novel credit economy. We believe that Nigeria and Africa is on the way to become a virile nation, a virile economy, having moved from the proverbial dictatorial governance system to a more liberalized, which is, in this case, a credit economy system. We look forward to meeting you again, and we hope that today's event will serve as another milestone to engender economic confidence in our country. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
I want to say a big thank you, the registrar. There's a way where you know people who are distinguished in their own right. They don't speak like people like us. They are very calm, smooth. For me, we speak 10 words in 1 minute. And that is to show you that true leadership indeed is an embodiment of a man who is resilient. And it's interesting you mentioned that the economy is moving from cash to credit. I would say it's from cash to cashless and now to credit. Perhaps we'll begin to experience what it's like to be able to know and feel some of the major issues that has been experienced in countries like the United States, Netherlands, and the rest of them. Because a lot of these people are actually basing their economy on credit. And just as the welcome address has actually made us appreciate and understand, is indeed one that we are obviously on the right path. And it's interesting that the instrument of laws, of many countries, as a matter of fact, is what we are beginning to benefit from. NICA, as a matter of fact, now will begin to be identified, and being a front burner to be able to partner the government and, of course, the organized private sector. And this is a testament to the fact that your leadership has actually proven true, sir. And please, one more time, can we put our hands together for the CEO and the registrar for such an excellent job they have done so far. And you see, there is nothing as more beautiful in the credit profession than teamwork. For you to be able to make certain things work, you must work together, being driven by a vision that will make the difference. And then it gives me great delight that this other gentleman who is going to be joining us, as a matter of fact, is indeed a man who is distinguished in his own right, with several academic backgrounds that are very amiable, and man who obviously would demonstrate that what a true African spirit of leadership is one that is driven by excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome the President and Chairman of Council, Mr. Andy Oje, FICA, as he comes in to give his speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, MC. I think I'm yet to meet a more versatile MC. Did you say 10 words per minute? I would rather say it's 1,000 words per minute. The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, represented by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Dr. Zainab Shamsun Ahmed, who we are told is on her way from our Papa after attending a function. We hope she will be able to join us. We know how hectic the traffic on that road can be, but we are hopeful that she will make it to this place. The Executive Governor of Kogi State, heavily represented by Honorable Abdulkarim Mohammed Jamiu, who is the Chief of Staff. The Deputy Governor of Taraba State, His Excellency Haruna Mawu. Members of NICA Governing Council. Our national patron, former President
Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, members of NICA, Mrs. Dr. Maki Dou, FICA, our registrar, our indefatigable registrar, and CEO and founding member, Professor Chris Analo, FICA, all special guests, fellows, members, associates, students of credit management, captains of industries, my lost temporal and spiritual gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, on Tuesday, the 16th August 2022, you signed into law the National Institute of Credit Administration Establishment Act number 1018 of 2022 of the National Assembly, making the former Institute of Credit Administration, which is ICA, nationally recognized. With the assent, the institute is now known as the National Institute of Credit Administration, NICA. Your Excellency, sir, as no economy grows without the use of credit, and there is no example of any advanced society where credit is not in use, your assent to the Institute's bill signaled an unprecedented foundation laid for the transition of Nigerian economy from the age-long cash-based to the contemporary credit-based economy, a system which serves as a catalyst for economic growth. Mr. President, I cannot proceed without commending Professor Chris Analo, the Professor of Credit Management, who has in the past 3 decades fought diligently to see that credit management becomes a distinctive profession in Nigeria. Indeed, it's a dream of many years made possible after operating the former Institute of Credit Administration without national recognition for 3 decades. Professor Chris Analo, your name will always be in the books of eminent Nigerians for being instrumental to the emergence of credit management profession in Nigeria. In the past, individuals have come into managing credit or trade credit or financial credit or consumer credit without prior preparation and certification. Their entrance into this functional line was frequently not a matter of deliberate choice and planning. The specialized knowledge essential for effective credit management was learned through experience rather than by rigorous study and examination. But the truth is that the complexity and tasks that are often performed by credit managers demands a mastery of skills. Credit industries are now fully aware that credit management activities are dynamic in nature. Such a complexity of tasks combined with a wide range of required skills make credit management one of the most challenging of all business occupations. Also, as an oil that lubricates the wheel of commerce, credit is not only the mother of all other professions, it is the soul of business and the most powerful investment window. Regardless of anyone's primary profession or academic background or line of business or professional association, everyone needs credit. Everyone desires to have access to credit in order to either grow, expand, or start a business, making credit the way of life for the modern society. By attaining membership of the National Institute of Credit Administration, NICA, members have the opportunity to participate regularly in informative roundtable discussions of credit types, as well as share concerns about credit management procedure and techniques. Membership of NICA cuts across virtually every industry, from advertising to construction, from food supply to industrial supply, from agriculture to steel, from manufacturing to distributive sectors, from financial institutions to oil and gas, from exporters to importers, from multilateral lending agencies to those in need of funding for infrastructural development projects. Now, that said, Mr. President, nowhere in the world has credit management profession failed to touch every aspect of business. It is that far-reaching scope that makes all business and persons of other professions so passionate about credit availability or credit accessibility and credit management. There is nowhere else you can learn more about a corporate organization and what its needs are than in credit management. This is because everything lands on the desk of credit managers, and this cuts across industries. In every economy, business and trade credit is the economy's largest source of business financing by volume, which even exceeds bank loans, with literally billions of naira exchanging hands annually. Your Excellency, sir, Section 1, subsection 2D of NICA Act commits the Institute to enhance and to promote and protect the interests of business credit providers and grantors, also as the ethical standards and awarding professional qualifications in credit management. That includes testing, assessment of those who wish to become members. Credit profession is both exciting and exciting. Therefore, the attendant needs of today's credit professionals, coupled with the rapid pace of change, suggest that the need for a sound approach for learning credit-related skills is more important than ever. With the robust curriculum that NICA has already developed for the study of credit administration, the Institute is ready to train Nigeria, Africa, and in fact the whole world for the attainment of academic and professional qualifications in credit administration, which will prepare individuals for credit management functions in the labor markets. The curriculum, adjudged to be at par with university standard, will usher in formidable collaborative partnerships between NICA and Nigerian universities through their regulator. The Act also enables the Institute to promote the integrity and weigh the capacity of government at all levels to borrow for economic development against the backdrop of internal creditworthiness of the overall economy. Mr. President, sir, one of the best things your administration has delivered to Nigeria is this National Institute of Credit Administration. For example, most states or most state governments in Nigeria have never been assisted to understand credit rating rudiments in order to prepare themselves well ahead of time to face a credit rating agency. Going forward, NICA will offer itself to properly educate and prepare willing state governments in Nigeria on credit worthiness determination and rating processes, and issue accreditation to the state as they look out for the opportunity to access funds for infrastructural development and other forms of financing outside the country. This is very crucial. This is very crucial for their success in managing the economy of their various states. Similarly, Your Excellency, NICA will ensure that all phases of credit management training and education programs run by organizations are within the required quality standards appropriate for efficient and ethical management of trade credit, or financial credit, or consumer credit, and credit provided for economic empowerment of the disadvantaged citizens by government at all levels in the country. To that effect, NICA will provide accreditation to organizations and institutions, providing such capacity building and professional skills development trainings and education programs in credit administration. I now call on business organizations in the country who have over the years used credit to grow or expand their business, and business organizations that have either received or granted credit facilities to remain in business to be intrinsically interested in the standards being maintained by those to whom they extend credit. With this successful milestone reached by NICA, the professional status of Nigerian credit managers have evolved. Accountants, attorneys, engineers, physicians, each qualify as professionals. In order to qualify for the status of a professional, an occupation must satisfy certain criteria that can be used to evaluate the occupation. NICA is now the national professional body for people and organizations in credit management and credit industry in Nigeria. Finally, Mr. President, our institute, the National Institute of Credit Administration, looks forward to working with the federal government, the state governments, and corporate organizations to put Nigeria's economy on the sound footing that she deserves. I want to thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, able President. It's an interesting thing that the presidents themselves are the ones who are doing that which they know they can do best. You know, you mentioned, I mean, is that oil that oils the engine of enterprise. The credit management, no doubt, is one of the most crucial tasks that must be completed by any organization that uses credit. And if a company does not take care of credit quality, it is the most common reason for bad profitability and certain conditions, as the case may be. And then you begin to ask yourself, how is that so much more relative to manufacturing? Manufacturing, as a matter of fact, is one of the major aspects of our economy. The real sector has to go on the spot where it thrives. And the real sector obviously looks at issues that has to do with access to funds and finance. How you're able to take care of all of that will definitely depend on your kind of credit rating. Most organizations who are fund-given or fund sources do not necessarily want to take certain risks that are not well justified in order for them to underwrite certain manufacturing engagements that might have promise of profitability. But all of that being said, there's no better person, so much more qualified to help us understand what exactly and what the role and connection that credit management has to do with the manufacturing sector. Apart or except from the representative of the DG CEO of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Ambrose Oruche, who is the Director of Corporate Affairs, as he comes up to give his keynote presentation. Please put your hands together for him.
Good morning, distinguished gentlemen and ladies. I am here to speak on the topic credit accessibility and vulnerability. How has credit helped business to grow? I'm standing in for my DG, who is also a fellow Institute of Credit Administration. He has to attend other national issues and sent me to represent him. I am going to read his paper. If you find his paper credible, give the credit to him. If you also find my presentation good enough, also give the credit to him. Let me stand on existing protocol and then start presenting the paper. Distinguished keynote speaker or speakers, ladies and gentlemen, I am highly honored by the opportunity to present this keynote address. I'm elected to be in the midst of stakeholders and industry experts with whom I'll be sharing ideas on how are their country's state of credit, accessibility, and vulnerability. I would like to especially commend the organizers of the event for the choice of the topic they are giving to me. You will agree with me that the topic is apt and timely, considering the internally and externally triggered economic and financial challenges currently confronting most businesses today. Let's look at the importance of credit to manufacturing or business growth. As a business, having seamless access to credit is critical to attaining set corporate objectives, ensuring survival and expansion. Credit access provides the capital needed for the business expansion, coverage of daily expenses, purchase of inventory, staff recruitment, and conservation of cash on hand to cover costs of doing business. In the course of assessing and utilizing credit, businesses build credit records that provide more financial opportunities. The cumulative credit records of businesses form the credit report used by financial institutions for the assessment of the creditworthiness of a company. Therefore, strong business credit record provides effective position businesses for improved access to credit. Surveys have shown that several micro, small, and medium enterprises are profitable, but having little or no access to credit and often utilize personal and in some cases family credit capital to bridge the gap. Clearly, having access to external source of finance can help increase the opportunity of getting the funds needed to unlock great opportunities for growth. In addition to other numerous benefits, a profitable business can enjoy from acquiring a loan. The common thinking in some business cycles is that a loan is needed only when profits are down. However, augmenting access to capital is a fundamental element in growing a business. To start with, one essential but difficult way of stimulating productivity and growth of a business is to update or acquire modern equipment. This is particularly difficult for small businesses, as most equipment can be very expensive, and they may not possess the working capital to spend on such expensive equipment that can depreciate over time. Because technology is continually evolving and improving, a piece of equipment which was top of the line can become obsolete within a few years. Leasing equipment with bank credits helps micro, small, and medium business owners to ensure that they have the best equipment for their businesses without continually spending large sums of money every few years or months. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, cost conditions have made most businesses push other aspects of the business, especially marketing. As a successful marketing campaign requires a solid budget and sometimes external assistance, and because of lack of access to credit, they sometimes push this aspect of business aside. Hence, micro, small, medium enterprises often ignore marketing aspect of their businesses, notwithstanding that marketing remains a fundamental part for business growth, as it is capable of elevating sales within a short period of time. Short-time credits afford the business the opportunity to invest in such ventures. Whether your business needs a website, social media promotion, or mailer campaigns, having access to more credit creates an opportunity for growth through marketing. The need to expand product brand and service provision requires capital investment, as it warrants increasing staff size, acquiring new equipment, or expanding business location. It is not enough for a business to have knowledge about the demand for a new product or service they could provide. The big question is, do they have the sufficient budget to accommodate such new lines of product or services? Bank credits can supply the working capital such a business needs to increase what they can provide their customers. Entering into a new market by establishing a branch in another location is also highly cost intensive. The direct cost alone could be a deterrent for business expansion. Having said that, the profit standing of a business can massively increase from such strategic moves. As such, long-term credit can help increase customer base. It's also, however, important to consider the use of such capital. Possessing sound knowledge of the purpose of the capital is the first step to set a business of for success in attaining credit and elevating the company's customer base. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's evaluate credit accessibility in the country as affects the manufacturing sector. The aforementioned show that in order to ensure the continued success of micro, small, and medium enterprises, growth is imperative and access to credit is the catalyst. However, the paradox is that despite being the poverty capital of the world, Nigeria has a credit market that is known to often ignore those largely in need of credit. According to the Global Development Monitor, Nigeria ranks top among countries with high rate of entrepreneurial activities, with 40% of its working age population owning businesses. It is, however, unfortunate that most of these businesses have not had the opportunity to realize their full potentials due to poor access to credit. Nevertheless, the positive impact of bank credit is proven. According to renowned economics John Maynard Keynes, mobilizing bank credit with business, exit credit empowers the entrepreneur to make an addition to current investment which would not have taken place. Ultimately, the rate of income generation will exceed the rate of investment. In several ways, the implementation of Nigeria business credit allocation mechanism did not have the expected outreach impact. For one, the overall dialogue surrounding the issue of business credit cannot be separated from the bigger discourse around financial inclusion. Millions of micro businesses are still outside the formal financial system and are victims of financial exclusion. Recently, the rate of credit vulnerability has been on the high side among micro, small, medium enterprises. The ravaging economic challenges ranging from high inflation, energy costs, slow COVID-19 recovery, forex scarcity, naira depreciation, and multiplicity of taxes currently facing businesses in Nigeria have constrained their ability to service bank loans, even as lenders may be forced to reduce credit to critical sectors of the economy. 9 banks saw their non-performing loans rise above 800 billion last year. The situation is further compounded by recent monetary policy measures. In a bid to curb the rising inflation, the Apex Bank raised the benchmark interest rate from 11.5% to 15.5% between May and September this year, while the cash reserve ratio had been hiked from 27.5% to 32.5%. In response to this contradictory policy, the deposit money banks currently charge rates within the range of 20 to 35%, despite rising domestic credit to private sector to 20% of GDP. I believe the Apex Bank can do better considering the countries such as South Africa, Morocco, and even Kenya that can boast of 128.9%, 87.75%, and 32.74% respectively. Meanwhile, it is not enough for the CBN to raise credit to private sector to over 40 trillion as at August this year. The bigger question, is it accessible? Is it affordable? Given the exorbitant high interest rates and limited liquidity within the banking sector, access to credit by micro, small, and medium scale has become extremely difficult, with more entrepreneurs being forced out of business. The credit crunch has contributed immensely to decline in the number of micro, small, and medium scale enterprises from 41 million in 2017 to 39 million in 2021. This gives clear indication that over 2 million micro, small, and medium businesses have closed up, while those still in existence are being stagnated by the rising cost of doing business, with several number of them seeking foreign funds and grants to remain in business. Favorable credit opportunities for micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises are not readily available. And when they are rigid and highly conventional. The application for a loan in commercial or microfinance bank is meant with extreme focus on business plans and many other documentations that are not within the reach of most micro, small, and medium businesses. Despite the improvement in the number of credit options by DMBs, the issue of collateral remains the gorilla in the room. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate goal in creating access to credit is promoting opportunities for businesses to flourish. While it is commendable that the Apex Bank is taking steps to enhance the credit culture, banks must invest committedly in easing the process of acquiring credit, putting into consideration the unique boundaries within which micro, small, medium enterprises operate. It is until then that the country's credit allocation mechanism will be favorable to the private sector. An all-encompassing approach to micro, small, medium-scale enterprises will be fundamentally to achieving the desired economic growth and sustainable development of our dear country. Conclusion and recommendation. No doubt, the private sector acknowledges some of the government efforts towards the improvement of credit accessibility, such as the licensing of more microfinance banks, the launching of MSMEs clinic, the enactment of Credit Reporting Act, the enactment of Secure Transactions in Movable Asset Act, the launching of CBN MSME Development Fund, as well as the establishment of Development Bank of Nigeria. However, as laudable as these interventions are, 96% of micro, small, medium-scale enterprises are still unable to gain access to credit as at 2021. Meeting the requirements of the credit policy is the long-existing contending issues. Specifically, major challenges faced by MSMEs include absence of official registration, lack of credit history, no audited financial reports, poor business plans, and lack of insurance coverage. Notwithstanding, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria believes strongly there are diverse means through which banks, with the support of government and the support of NICA, can improve on small business lending without exposing them to avoidable financial risk. Despite the increased digital presence of the Corporate Affairs Commission and the licensed credit bureaus, there is still need for stronger collaboration with the banking institutions to ensure their physical or virtual presence in commercial banks in order to enable micro, small, and medium enterprises enjoy affordable and easier business registration service. Such collaboration will significantly reduce the number of businesses who have their loan applications decline due to lack of formal registration and credit history. Unlike commercial banks, getting the service of an audited firm in rural or semi-urban areas is highly difficult. Therefore, it is important that banking institutions partner with affordable auditing firms who can audit the financial records of micro, small, and medium enterprises during loan application, and also educate them on corporate governance codes, as well as assist those with sound business ideas in the preparation of formal business plans. It is important to emphasize that these collaborations should be done within the framework of sustainable corporate social responsibility. This will not only address the challenges of credit accessibility and vulnerability or increase banks' customer base, it will also create jobs by mentoring and engaging Nigerian businesses, accounting, and insurance graduates in order to provide these auditing services at affordable rates. The government also has critical roles to play by reviewing bank lending targets to selected sectors of the economy Majority of micro, small, and medium scale are situated in rural or semi-urban areas where the absence of title documents and proper street identification pose major challenges for credit accessibility. Therefore, there is need for an intensive town planning as well as allowing well-structured notifications by identified local authorities to be used in place of such legal documentations for rural and semi-urban business operators. The adoption of advanced mapping technologies can also go a long way to support this process aimed at making credit readily available and accessible by micro, small, and medium enterprises. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced that if these suggestions are well considered, issues of credit accessibility will be strategically tackled. In the same vein, we shall be promoting the ease of doing businesses, enhance the competitiveness of business, and boosting their capacities to excel at the global stage. On this note, I want to appreciate you for listening. Thank you.
Now, you see why I always insist on Mr. Ambrose. Is a man, when he does his own presentation, you will just see the fulsomeness of what it means to be driven by passion, the passion to see the economy itself thrive beyond what we, as a matter of fact, are experiencing today. The truth is that the manufacturers themselves are facing so much in terms of challenge. And I remember that in one of the magazines of NICA's, in the publication in the magazine of NICA, there was an article that actually had thrown more light on some of the policies that's focused on MSMEs. And we realized that their contribution to the country's GDP is quite huge. And so credit, as a matter of fact, credit management itself is too key for us not to be able to look at it in a manner that will help a lot of these businesses stay above water. Because their impact, like I rightly had mentioned, doesn't just have a role to play in terms of job creation. The impact also goes beyond sustainability, expansion. And so if there's no collaboration between the manufacturers or the small and medium-scale business players, then we realize that we are going to be facing so much challenge in terms of what our final GDP outlook will be at the end of the day. But there is a key to manage risk. As a matter of fact, we need very strong and very good credit management strategy. And if you look at elements that focuses on the areas of customer management, credit rating assessment, as well as risk management, or mitigation as the case might be, you will realize that a lot of the companies who apply for credit must definitely work in tandem with the banks majorly through whom they are assessing a lot of that credit, because these are actually investors' funds too. And so there must be a way for us to be able to create a balance. And if we're able to embrace and, of course, elevate that kinds of guarantee, obviously it means that a man or an interest that pays back its loan makes funds available for other interests to also access that. And so on that note, I would like us to please put our hands together one more time for the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria. I'm very sure NICA is very honored to have Mr. Shegu Ajayi's Cadre MNI and the FICA's presentation. And we're looking forward to more as a matter of fact. And I know NICA and MAN will certainly work together because we're all in the same ship to make sure that we're able to get the business interest of our members as well as the country, knowing the fact that now the country, as a matter of fact, has recognized the importance of such of this institute to obviously has passed it into law, which means that the country itself is positioning itself to be able to take care of some of the concerns you've raised up. And I'm glad that NICA is very positioned to especially extend that conversation beyond this particular point. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, you are not here to come and listen to me, but I'm very excited. And like I said to the CEO, that I'm obviously going to consider an extended course in credit administration. And I know that NICA is on ground here to give you guys all of the different accesses to professional development. So you want to take an advantage of all of that. Please make sure you do that. I'm very sure we're on ground here. If you are not yet a member inducted, please don't let today go by. At this point in time, I would like to invite my next speaker, who is one of our sponsors. Is the managing consultant of Aura Credit Limited. He's going to be speaking on the topic, the credit guarantee scheme that Nigeria needs. Please, can we put our hands together for Mr. John Aniyorubi, please? FICA. The more you clap, the more credit worthy your account will be. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible. Good afternoon. Please permit me once again to stand on existing protocols as set by the previous speakers. I've learned new words this afternoon from the last speaker, the gorilla in the room. And that is what I'm going to talk to you about, really, the gorilla in the room. My topic is simple. I've asked to come and present this to you by a class. So I'm also just entering some people's shoes. The credit guarantee scheme that Nigeria needs, as an introduction, the concept of credit guarantee is not popular in our space, at least for now. It would be safe to say that only few people, even in the financial sector, knows what a CGS is all about. This will be reflected in the recent issuance of guidelines for regulation and supervision of credit guarantee companies in Nigeria by CBN on March 23rd, 2022. The earlier being March 2010. The guideline, among other things, dwelt in detail the setting up, operations and management, supervision and revocation of licenses of credit guarantee company. As at this moment, only one credit guarantee company, Impact Credit Guarantee Limited, has a license to operate as such. Only one company. You may wish to know that Impact Credit Guarantee Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Development Bank of Nigeria. Why is this so? The business of credit guarantee scheme is not so much so for profit making, but for the unselfish concern for the welfare of others, especially those who do not have access to credit for whatever reason. Why will a group of people then decide to come together to deposit 10 billion with CBN for the sole purpose of setting up a credit guarantee company when they can invest in other safe businesses with a competitive return on investment? So what is a credit guarantee scheme, or what does credit guarantee company do? They are body corporate set up essentially to alleviate or eliminate the challenges associated with the granting of loans to MSMEs, that is the micro, small, and medium enterprises. They help in facilitating access to credit or funding to these companies by accepting to take a part, sometimes substantial, of the loan in case of default by the MSMEs, that is the borrowers. These affirmation or assurance placed on the laps of lenders on behalf of these small enterprises gives the lenders the needed comfort and credibility to grant such loans to these borrowers. In banking parlance, this becomes the much needed collateral. I come back to you, sir. That is the gorilla in the room. That the banks actually are waiting. Understand? So, whenever we are talking about credit guarantee schemes, it goes without saying that in every transaction that involves a CGS scheme, three distinct parties are involved. One, the lender, which can be a bank or credit-giving institution. Two, the borrowers, mostly small-scale businesses or large corporations on developmental missions. And three, the credit guarantee company, who put themselves out to guarantee loans borrowed by some lenders, borrowed from the lenders by these small businesses. They may be corporate bodies or trade associations. So what are the type of credit guarantee schemes or companies that we have? There are about four distinct types. We have the public, we have the corporate guarantee, we have the international guarantees, and then we have the mutual associations. For public guarantee schemes, these are set up by government fiat, funds in whatever manner channeled to them to start. An example is the Central Bank of Nigeria 200 billion Small and Medium Enterprises Credit Guarantee Scheme, which is targeted at manufacturers, agri-value chains, and educational institutions. Number two, the corporate guarantee schemes. These are set up by private organizations such as banks, manufacturers, chambers of commerce, and so on. In other words, they are managed by experienced practitioners. Then the third one is international credit guarantee schemes. These are set up through bilateral government agreements. For example, the Moroccan government and the Nigerian government represented by NICA, that is the Nigerian Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agri Lending. And the third one, and finally the fourth one, we have the mutual guarantee schemes. These are set up by associations of borrowers with little access to finance and basically to assist each member. They are private, independent organizations. So you want to ask, what are the roles of these CGS? Three, they are basically, if you put them together, there are so many, but when you compress them together, you can at least get three standing. We have the financial sustainability. Now, since the initial setup cost of funding of a CGS capital is intensive, considerable effort should be made to guide or preserve the fund from being wiped out through claims and bad management. This increases credibility for the lender and borrowers alike. Two, creation of additional credit. It must be seen that because a credit guarantee scheme is in place, more borrowers should have access to credit. In other words, these additional credits would not have been created if not for the presence and intervention of the CGCs, of course, at a cheaper rate. Third one, creation of additional economic activities. When CGS facilitate borrowers' access to credit, they motivate additional economic activities, which results in increase in output level, new employment, increase in profit, redistribution of wealth and income. So, what is the way forward? Riding on the back of the four types of credit guarantee scheme that we have, and the key roles expected of any CGS, it will not be difficult to try and identify the credit guarantee schemes or companies that Nigeria needs. It will be safe to say then that there is nothing like a one-size-fits-all CGS. There is nothing like a one-size-fits-all. We commend the Central Bank of Nigeria for their role in coming up with guidelines and for their roles in targeted schemes they've done in the past. So, we would like to suggest the way forward. Number one, if the ultimate duty of a CGS is to see to the creation of additional credits, which drives additional economic activities that increases output, that retributes income and financial inclusion, then we must do all in our capacity as a CGS to lift up many MSMEs across the length and breadth of this country. We will expect a graduated startup capital base in the region of 50 million, 100 million, 200 million for corporate and mutual guarantee schemes. We say this because a 10 billion CGS company will not be looking out for MSME that their capital requirement is less than 500,000. You can't put on 10 billion and you are looking for somebody that wants to borrow 500,000 from you, or let's even say 2 million. Their eyes should be somewhat up there. Number two, for the government, a bigger national credit guarantee scheme with a nationwide coverage for all micro and medium enterprises will be the way to go. There is nothing bad in the current sector-specific credit schemes that we have in place. Three, on average, it takes about 180 days to 270 days from the issuance of approval in principle and final license before a CGS company can commence operation. That's a large number of days. So, what happened to our ease of doing business? You may want to ask. And what happens if this initial capital is borrowed money as defined by CBN? In other words, if you are borrowing money to start up a CGS, you are not expected to borrow it from within the banks in Nigeria. You are supposed to bring the fund from outside. You understand? Because existing fund will add nothing. You have to bring something from outside. So, assuming this money is borrowed from outside and you are keeping it for 270 days, then there must be a problem. So we are saying
what if there is no investable asset that CBN can put the deposit into? Because CBN also guarantees that while this fund is with them, they will help you put in some assets so that when you come back to pick them after getting your license, you can have it back. But assuming there is nothing they can put it into. So we are suggesting a period of between 60 to 90 days for this to be done. Number 3, experience has shown that it is very unrealistic to expect a CGS to cover its full cost through fees, charging fees. We said initially that this is something like we call a unselfish, trying to help people. So the fees we are going to charge actually is going to be on top of what the central banks give to bank, that is the DMBs. Currently is 15.5%. So if the bank is going to add their own money on, their own interest rate on it, and the CGs is also charge additional fee, we are thinking about you'll be clocking about 27%. And we are saying the idea is that bring down this interest rate for these MSMEs so that they can survive. But then a CGS is also adding money to it, so it's going to be so high. So what are we saying? We are saying it will appear that the overall objective of reducing the interest rate regime for small borrowers is under threat. Financial grants can be given by government to CGS based on the number of successful guarantees that they've issued on an annual basis. 4, there is need for the modification of the existing rules and guidelines relating to setup of credit guarantee companies. In other words, the current scheme that the CBN has, the current guidelines that they have, do not contemplate other private companies that may come in. They have the guideline that's actually set for those people that is going to operate within the 10 billion naira startup capital. Finally, government alone cannot do it. Incentives should be clearly spelled out and given to encourage private corporate bodies and partners to come on board and be involved in moving this country out of poverty through credit guarantee schemes. For example, a diversified contributory funding arrangement involving government, large corporations, and banks can be employed to ensure the buy-in of all critical stakeholders. Finally, we would like to say that the guidelines that are released by CBN do not contemplate other private companies, and then that we need presently to stimulate growth in the economy. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for your patience as well.
Mr. John, the way you said the thank you, you weren't sure whether we were listening. I can assure you we were all listening. Especially when you hear 10 billion. 10 billion is a very hefty amount of money. We realize that you've expressed that as the case might be. I'm very sure your paper is going to be made available to the Institute for onward publication, as well as your own paper as well. I would have wanted to take some questions, but please, with the permission of the President, and of course, as well as the CEO, I'm going to have to exercise the power of MC. I love what I do. I can assure you guys about that. But quickly, let me recognize and say a big welcome to His Royal Highness, Kabiyesi Jacob Eson, FICA, the Onijimo of Ijimo, Osun State. Please, can we put our hands together for him? Kabiyesi, Kabosa. All right. See, we have online guys who are doing this, and we also want a situation whereby we'll have a good TV capture. So, as it is right now, I will not want anybody sitting behind this row. So what it means is that, gentlemen, with all due respect, madams, I would like to ask you guys to please move forward this way. If you don't do that, I'm not going to leave here. Thank you. From the back, please, move forward. No, you stay here, and then you can move forward and fill up all those places. There's some special awards I've placed under the seats for those people who sit there. Please, I don't want anybody behind it. Sir, with all due respect, I will insist. You're my very good friend, so you have to move forward, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want anybody behind this row. Gentlemen, please move forward. Usher, please come and stand here. Let them see how pretty you are. There's nothing good looking about me. You will be a better distraction. All right. We need fill up those places. There are seats up front. Why do people always run away from front seat? Meanwhile, when God comes, it's the people in the front he will start with. All those people at the back, I don't know who they work with. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Please, can you put your hands together for these wonderful people? It's not easy. we want to be able to have a good capture, that we have the online presence as well, you know. And then, I don't know, lovely people who want to still be behind. It's one of the amazing things that I find as a critical issue that needs to be addressed. But say a big thank you one more time from my own angle to your own side. This looks beautiful. This looks quite impressive. I feel as if I'm on TV already. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You see, the beautiful thing with some of this presentation is one key factor, I think, the two presenters, as well as the welcome address from the registrar and the address by the president had mentioned. Government plays a critical role. When we look at the fact that we pay taxes and all of those funds goes into government and there is a budget, and all of these budgets are subjected to all kinds of processes. Those processes have to take a position whereby if the government of the day needs to access more funds, there has to be the aspect of credit rating, credit ideology or policies that is guiding that level of engagement. And if we're able to do that, then the government of the day must begin to see where the wonderful partnership with NICA comes into play. Because NICA obviously is not just working for just the corporate interest, it's also working for government interest. No wonder the president signed all of this into law. And I'm glad that the partnership being represented here is from a diverse array of states government. And we're looking forward to better engagement with them. So at this point in time, it gives me great delight and pleasure to invite the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahya Bello, ably represented by his Chief of Staff, Honorable Pharmacist Abdul Karim Muhammadu Asuku, who is going to come forward to give his own remarks about his own experience. Please put your hands together for him.
The President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, who we're told will be represented by the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Planning, who is on her way. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, here ably represented by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Taraba State, the delegation from Kogi State who are here with me, the powerful delegation from Kogi State that have been introduced earlier on. I don't want to take much of our time going around the, names again. The President of NICA, Vice President, Registrar, and his wife, other members of Council, distinguished invited guests, our father, the Royal Father from Osun State, here present, members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abdul Karim Muhammad Jamiu, a pharmacist by profession, and I stand here on behalf of my boss, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahya Bello, who is supposed to be one of the people to be inducted, investiture as the fellow of NICA here today. Fortunately, he's not able to make it to this event because we are receiving eminent personality in Kogi State this season. As you know, Kogi State is one of the few states that was ravaged by the incident of flooding. Yesterday, we received the Inspector General of Police, and today, the Honorable Minister for Information, for Humanitarian and Disaster Management is billed to be in Kogi State today, and it is protocol demanded that his
that is a leadership that is very concerned of its own people. And this is not just political statement. These are statements that are verified. And we're so excited that they have deemed it fit to honor the invitation that NICA has extended to them. So ladies and gentlemen, please, can we put our hands together to his rep, the Executive Deputy Governor, Engineer Haruna Manu, as he comes up to give his remark. Thank you very much.
The President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, ably represented by Minister of Finance, who I understand she will soon be here, the representative of the Governor of Kogi State, my brother, the Chief of Staff, representative of the Governor of Lagos, Oshun, Your Royal Highness, I recognize you. The President and Chairman of NICA, the Registrar, distinguished guest speakers and other personalities here, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Let me say a little bit. I didn't know that I will be called to give a keynote address, but if I understand very well, it's the use of credit judiciously, especially for us in the state government. I want to assure this gathering that for us in Taraba State, the credit facility has helped us in the last 7.5 years tremendously. And the administration of Darius Dixon Ishaku have used the credit judiciously, because without the credit facility, all the achievement recorded by the administration, we wouldn't have been able to record such achievement. And I want to give a little bit of some of this achievement. I will start by the health sector. The health sector in Taraba State has been impacted across the state, especially by touching, constructing new health facilities across the state. In each of the three geopolitical zones of the state, the Darius administration is able to construct and reconstruct the health facilities. The administration has been able to construct primary health care across the 168 wards within the state. In the education sector, I just want to summarize, as I said, in the education sector, when we came, Taraba State was at the bottom. But the Darius administration, through our effort in the administration in the educational sector, from the bottom, we were able to be the first in the northern part of the country in terms of WAEC. Taraba State was able to score 86%, which is number 1 in the northern part of the country, and I think, if I understand, number 8 in the country. In terms of infrastructure, the Darius administration was able to impact no administration from the inception of this democracy in 1999 to date. There is no one single administration that have touched the lives of the people, especially those that are in the rural areas. The Darius administration have constructed roads across the state, and especially, let me say this for some of you that have been hearing about the Mambila Plateau,
the federal government have made so much noise about the Mambila hydro project. But unfortunately, there is no even access road that led to the Mambila project. The Darius administration deems it fit to construct the road that leads to the hydro project in Mambila. Currently, that road is being constructed by the administration, and we do hope that before the end of this administration, the road shall be completed. All of this wouldn't have been possible without credit. However, unfortunately, some of this credit or all of this credit you have to repay within the lifespan of your administration. That is just the hindrance. That is the drawback. But the credit obtained by the administration, we were able to use it judiciously for the benefit of our people. On behalf of the governor and the good people of Taraba State, let me most sincerely appreciate the organizers of this event, and I'm sure you have seen what the governor has been doing, the wonderful job he has been doing in Taraba State. And just like how other bodies have recognized him in the last 7.5 years, because the governor has received in the last 7 years numerous awards, several awards, both within and outside the country. He has been recognized by the World Bank, the World Health Organization, and all of this is in using the resources of Taraba State judiciously. I thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I was busy trying to make sure that my flight to Mambila Plateau is secured.
Your Excellency, I mean, oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll just send my account an invoice. That itself just makes it. Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you, sir. Madam, you may have a seat here because I'm trying to adjust. His Excellency is actually, sir, you can, yes, so as soon as she, okay, yeah. Well, interesting enough, His Excellency is a Microsoft certified system engineer. You won't believe that. And please put your hands together for him. And when I had the privilege of having His Excellency in Lagos when he came for that event, one of the things I realized about the people from Taraba is the fact that their skin, is very smooth like credit management. You just realize that they have some kind of credit atmosphere that works for them. And it's interesting that the state government itself has demonstrated true leadership. You know how it can be in terms of political aspect in our country. But there are those who have been very sincere. And I can tell you that the Taraba state government itself is one of those states that has demonstrated the fact that it pursues a people-centered policy. So on that note, one more time, please can we put our hands together for His Excellency? Thank you very much. Representing the Osun State government, as well as in his own rightful capacity as a royal leader, I would like to quickly invite His Royal Highness Kabiyesi Jacob Eson, FICA, the Onijimo of Osun State. Kabiyesi to come forth and make his own brief remark.
It is of Ijimo. Good afternoon, everyone. Standing on existing protocols, the Executive Governor, Adegboyega Oyetola of Osun State, offers his sincere apologies for his absence. This is because of pressing affairs of state. His Excellency congratulates the Institute and charges the Institute to proffer effective credit management policies towards deepening the Nigerian economy. The Governor accepts the award with gratitude and wishes NICA a prosperous future. Thank you.
Kabiyesi, thank you very much. Osun State is a wonderful state. I think that's where I attended my university, Obafemi Awolowo University. Well, I'm careful not to say more than that because I know that my registrar also attended another university. So we can say those two universities are the best universities. You know, usually you also say, okay, it's the best, but you know that that won't work at this time. It's just Osun State. It's quite expensive. I had a very good time in Osun when I was there. Ikere and the rest of them, and Ikire, isn't it? Okay, Ikire. I thought Ikire was a place, or is it something you eat as well? Okay, Dodo Ikire. So I mean, you have an idea of what I'm talking about, But that's the beauty of Nigeria, because even when you are going down Kogi and you are driving, you have to go through that local jar. You people used to eat that worm. Is it you people that eat the worm, the maggot or something? No, it's not you. It's the Delta people. Are you Delta here, please? You're Delta. Are you sure it's Delta? Is it, they call it at the back of the, very wonderful delicacy. Sorry? So, it's a lava. Oh, my apologies. They say it's a lava, oh. You see, when you eat something you don't know, all you just remember is the beautiful experience you had about it. But what it tells you is the fact that Nigeria is an amazing landscape. The blend of our culture and the experience you have is the very good reason why, credit managers or experts like yourself need to get a lot right. Because if this country is as prosperous as it is, I'm telling you, you might decide that, okay, I want to live in Lagos for 1 year. Let me move to Lokoja for another 2 years. And then let me get off to Taraba for one another year. Or maybe I should just stay put in Ile-Ife for what, as the fact that the opportunities by each government in those different regions actually expand it so that wherever you are, you can have access to that opportunity. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So ladies and gentlemen, please, can we put our hands together for NICA, for putting us together to have this conversation. It's not easy. Well, with one or two special requests, I'm going to take one or two questions or comments. But if I'm going to do that, that is going to be determined if my next visitor or the next person coming in is my special guest. Okay, in that case, I'm going to have to suspend it. Please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together for the representative of the President, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Mrs. Zainab Ahmed. You're welcome, madam. All right, you may help be seated. You're welcome, man. We are very honored to have you in the house today. We've looked forward to this particular engagement, and we know how busy your schedule is. But it's a great, great honor that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, represented here by yourselves, madam, have been able to demonstrate the fact that NICA is here to stay, and NICA is going to obviously begin to tell a story that we all will be proud of. Credit administration in Nigeria has come to stay. If you're not in agreement, we can let you leave now. But if you're in agreement, can I hear a hi? Please put your hands together for yourself. This is a very exciting moment, as the case might be. And then, without further ado, madam, we are so glad that you are here. I'm going to have to put you on the spot immediately to invite you forward to give your remark, as the case might be, so that we can officially unveil and then move on with this. Please put your hands together for the representative of the President as she comes forward. Please watch your step.
Good morning. I'm a bit disoriented.
No, it's all right. Everything, it goes whether morning or afternoon. We'll interpret otherwise.
Let me, first of all, start by paying my respects to everybody that is here. I'm sure there are a lot of special guests, but also members of the new National Institute of Credit Administration. I'm here to bring to you the greetings of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, who is currently today on an official assignment in Bauchi. And I'm delighted to be the one to represent him. And welcome all of you to this event of unveiling of the National Institute of Credit Administration Act of 2022. This journey, I'm sure, must have been a long one for a lot of you, that has brought us to this stage, must have no doubt been a very daunting and challenging one. However, I'm excited that by sheer determination and painstaking commitments of critical stakeholders, we're here to witness yet another major milestone in our nation's quest to institutionalize systems that will ensure steady growth, stability, and sustainability of our economy. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let me at this juncture draw your attention to the fact that no economy grows without the use of credit. And there is no example of any advanced society where credit is not in use. It is, however, imperative to state that credit at any level or in any sector, if not properly managed, would spell doom for an economy. This is why the federal government took the deliberate steps towards ensuring an enduring credit system within our economy to be managed by reputable professionals. The professional status of credit managers in Nigeria has evolved. As you all know, accountants, attorneys, doctors, engineers, amongst others, all pass through lawful processes to qualify as professionals. This means that for an occupation to qualify for the status of being a professional, it needs to satisfy certain criteria that can be used to evaluate the work of such a professional. In the past, individuals came into the credit management field without prior preparation and certification. What this signified for our credit management system was that the specialized knowledge and skills required for the effective of the credit management practitioners were only haphazardly learned through work experience rather than through a robust and thorough certification process. Ladies and gentlemen, this situation and the attendant need for thorough credit professionals, coupled with the rapid pace of change in credit management, indicates that there is a need for sound approach to learning credit skills, to certification, and to the regulation of credit management professionals. And that now, this is required now more than ever. This would ensure adherence to standards, check on ethical conducts, and also check insider abuse that often results in sharp practices in the industry, as well as grow our economy to the point of providing desired jobs and creating wealth. You may recall that one of the incidents that triggered economic and financial meltdown globally some years back was largely due to lack of attention to sound and disciplined credit management systems. This is reinforced through the need for every country that is desirous of sustained economic growth and development to, amongst others, institutionalize and put necessary regulatory frameworks for proper credit management, and also to provide safeguards and infrastructure to protect credit markets. It was therefore with this in mind that on Tuesday, 16th of August 2022, that His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari signed into law the National Institute of Credit Administration Establishment Act of 2022. With this assent, the institute is now known as the National Institute of Credit Administration, NICA. This signals an unprecedented foundation that has now been laid by this administration for the transition of Nigeria's economy from a cash-based economy to a credit-based system that will serve as a catalyst for economic growth and for development. I therefore charge NICA to ensure that bad management of trade credit, unethical handling of consumer credit, and unprofessional treatment in business credit dealings with MSMEs are reduced to the barest minimum. I must at this point commend the efforts of patriotic Nigerians and professional institutions like yours, and particularly Mr. Chris Analo, the Professor of Credit Management, who has over the years championed the cause of seeing that credit management becomes a distinct profession in Nigeria. The National Assembly must also be commended for the consistent support to this administration to deliver on its promises through enacting laws critical to the success that we are celebrating today. On this note, it is my honor and a pleasure on behalf of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to unveil and to present the National Institute of Credit Administration Act of 2022 to the credit of the nation's credit manager and professional community across all sectors of the Nigerian economy. I want to also therefore call on all key players to support the Institute to deliver on its mandate for the development of a robust credit economy, and to also take advantage of this act to entrench professionalism and ethical conduct in the management of credit administration for the growth and for the development of our nation. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and I want to also congratulate the Nigerian Institute of Credit Administration.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. So, Madam, we will have to go down to that spot. I would like to invite the President of NICA to please come forth as we unveil the act. Then the President and the CEO, as well as the Vice Chair, Madam. I would like to quickly also mention, Your Excellency, that we have the Executive Governor of Kogi State ably represented here by the Chief of Staff. We also have for Osun State represented by His Royal Highness Kabiyesi Jacob Eson. We also have the Executive Governor of Taraba State here represented by the Deputy Governor. All of these people are here to honor the invitation of NICA, this unveiling, which, as a matter of fact, is so important that the President had to be here in person, ably represented by your honorable self, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Mrs. Zainab Ahmed. So at this point, I would like to hand over the microphone if you need to make one or two comments. Okay.
I have the honor and the privilege, to the glory of God, to unveil the Nigerian Institute of Credit Administration Act 2022.
Please, can we invite the governors here to join them? I wonder why we have them up there. Please, you should join them. The unveiling is a very interesting one. It looks as beautiful as credit worthiness. Your Excellency, we thank you so very much for honoring this invitation. It means a lot to NICA. We thank the Excellencies as well here, the Excellency, the governors of Osun, Kogi, and Taraba, all ably represented here. Thank you so very much. Please, let's have some space, photographers, so that they can, I hope it's not too heavy. I'm not too sure if there's a credit guarantee with regards to the heaviness, but it's all right and good. All right, please, can we smile, credit smile? You know, if your credit rating is positive, you can smile. Congratulations. Okay. I'm not sure we are seeing Mrs. Onalu very well in the picture, so please. Uh-huh. Great. It's important we get this right. Thank you very much. Please snap, 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 snap. I understand digital age has credit alliances. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We really very much, so much more proud. The unveiling has happened. This is the reason why we are here today. And this has been unveiled on the first, ladies and gentlemen, let it be on record, by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, ably represented here by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Mrs. Zainab Samsuna Ahmed. Thank you very much for honoring us with your presence. The whole media in the house, The Guardian, Business Day, This Day, NTA, and of course I see Oshu State's media as well as Taraba and Kogi to take a lot of these images across board. And so we're going to be going to our next item, which is going to be the fellowship award to be presented to Mr. President and the other VIP. So please, you can all take your seats. We've had
All right. All right. Hello. 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 Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thank you, Your Excellency. We are going to go. This is exciting. May I invite the President of the Council, as well as other Council members, to please come forth as we are going to present our Fellowship Award to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, represented here by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Mrs. Zainab Ahmed. And this is going to also be another icing on the cake. So please, may I invite Her Excellency to please come forth one more time. This is the power of an MC. We don't get this opportunity this way, man. You want to come down? After today, man, hey, careful. After today, if you see me elsewhere, man, don't just use that. But right now, man, please, can we have the President of Council and as well the other members of the NICA Council as we present the Fellowship Award to His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is ably represented here by the Honorable Minister for Finance, National Planning and Budget. Okay, great, great. Don't worry, just take your time. We're going to get this fully correct. We want to pull this down, please. Who has this? Okay.
This is to certify that Muhammadu Buhari has been admitted a honorary fellow, that's FICA, of the Institute on November 22nd, 2022, with membership number NICA FE 13940022 MB, given under the seal of the Institute in accordance with the NICA Act number 1018/2022, signed by the Governing Council and the Registrar.
Congratulations. All right. So the President has another tally number. That one is from NICA, as a matter of fact. Congratulations. Madam, I know that you are on assignment on behalf of the President, but NICA will not have this completed if we do not also give you your own fellowship award. Ladies and gentlemen, please, can we have hers here too? Please put your hands together for her. She's honored us with her presence. Well, the smaller version, don't bother about the size. The content is all equal. You see the bigger version now. Great. I would like you to read it. I want to see how it feels.
has been admitted a honorary fellow, FICA of the Institute on the 22nd of November 2022 with a long membership number and given under the seal of the Institute in accordance with the NICA Act of number 101822, signed by the Governing Council and the Registrar. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, ma'am. Congratulations. I see your smile is very genuine.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. The smaller one, where's the smaller plug? Okay. Please, it belongs to Madame. Don't take it away. All right, congratulations, ma'am. This is a great honor, and I think it's an honor very much more deserved than due. To have your presence here is quite impressive and encouraging and inspiring at the same time. Thank you very much. We still have other awards. Please, you can have your seat, ma'am. Please watch your step. All right, can we have the list of the other awards? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it feels good because we know that these awards themselves goes a long way. And then being the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning is important because we know how important credit management is to the country's policies and positions. The fact that Madam and His Excellency the President also have been inducted into NICA is quite commendable, and we're quite glad seeing this happening today. This is so much more of a testament of a legacy that we're all proud of. Please be careful. We're looking forward to more of this presentation. We still have more presentations to be made. In a moment, I would like to ask Mr. Daniel to please give us some background music so that we get this arranged. And then we'll now go in for the vote of thanks and have a group picture. We can't let Madame leave until we have this group picture. So that we then leverage on that and remember such a wonderful moment as this. So, Daniel, are you ready? Please, over to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, certainly. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take this step by step. May I have... okay, these things happen as the case is. As it is, Madam, it's not all the time we have the privilege of having your very elevated self here. So we are going to take all the necessary credit we can from you. So what it means is that I'm going to request for you to come forth still again, ma'am, yourself and the President, and of course to come forth to present the next awards to the next sets of honorary fellows of the Institute. Thank you very much, ma'am. Please watch your step gently. Thank you. President, CEO, you should join us well. And this is actually for His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, ably represented here by the Deputy Governor. Can we have the bigger? Okay, this first. All right. It's like we're going with the hard ones, the heavy ones, then the softer ones. Yes, ma'am. Does it have to do with credit too?
All right. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Congratulations. I hope it's not too heavy. All right. Congratulations. Please, can we have your credit smile? So you take it back to Taraba and then let them know that. Thank you very much, sir. Can we have the next? That is the Executive Governor of Kogi State. Kogi State is here, certainly represented here by the Chief of Staff. Congratulations, sir. Okay, madam, I hope it's not too heavy, but please, President and CEO, you must stay so that we have the picture moment captured well. Then we have around this is a smaller one.
Congratulations, this is impressive. Kogi State is
doing well. So, no, the big one. Don't worry, your property, we're not taking it. All right, madam, this is for Osun State and it's ably represented there by His Royal Highness. Please, can we put our hands together for them? Please, can you put your hands together for them? The program has not yet ended. All right.
All right, madam, I would like to invite you to make some remarks or any message you may have on behalf of the president or yourself before I invite the deputy vice chair to come in for a vote of thanks, and then we're going to have some of our pictures before you leave, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say thank you very simply on behalf of all the awardees. And also to say, I was wondering why the president asked me to be the one to come represent him. As ministers, we have specific deliverables that we're committed to at the beginning of this administration. During the second term, it was refreshed and we actually signed up to Mr. President. And one of my deliverables is enhancing consumer credit. And during the first term, the first 3 assessments, my achievement for that was very, very low, near 0. The second term, the same. So I want to call on the Nigerian Institute of Credit Administration to come to my aid to make sure that I meet that deliverable on increasing consumer credit in our country. But you also know that this is something we have to do together with the banking system and so many other stakeholders that have key roles to play. But that is a gap that we have identified that that we need to bridge, especially in the mortgage market, but more especially in credit that is to be availed for small, medium enterprises. So I hope you come along with me so that I can meet that target that was set for me by His Excellency the President.
All right, please, ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together for her? After you, ma'am. Well, madam, I think there's no better person than to respond to that than the NICA Vice President and Vice Chair of Council, Dr. Mrs. Maki Idowu, FICA, as she comes forward to respond to that, as well as give a vote of thanks. Please, can we put our hands together for her?
The President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, here represented by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Mrs. Zainab Samsuna Ahmed. Our depth of gratitude knows no bounds. Permit me to stand on existing protocols. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our depth of gratitude knows no bounds. It has now entered the annals of history that the NICA Establishment Act was passed by the Buhari administration and unveiled by him. We are truly grateful. Our special thanks also goes to the various governors hereby represented today. Thank you very much. We are highly honored to have had your esteemed presence at this historic public unveiling of the Act establishing the National Institute of Credit Administration. We are not unmindful of all your very busy schedules and the fact that your presence here has not come without opportunity cost. We are most grateful that you chose to identify and celebrate with us. We thank you all for coming and spending time with us to witness this great event. And let me respond to our Honorable Minister. The Institute will be more than glad to work with you to achieve your target. As we say in banking. Having been a banker for over 28 years, we are used to targets. So the Institute accepts the challenge totally, and we are honored that the Honorable Minister has asked us to work with her. We'll gladly do that. Thank you very much. I cannot conclude the thank you without specially thanking Prof. Chris Onalo, the Professor of Credit Management, who has in the past 3 decades fought diligently to see that credit management becomes a distinctive profession in Nigeria. Prof. Onalo, you have made history today and will always be remembered in the credit management profession in Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Lagos State, where our institute is headquartered. God bless our institute and the credit management profession. We wish you all a safe and pleasant trip as you leave. Thank you all for coming. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for thanking us. We always give due respect and regards and honor to those who have done well for us. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have photo section. Photos are important. Imagine if you saw what you looked like when you were still a toddler. At this time, you realize how important photos are. So we're going to have a particular order of these photographs we're going to be taking. And so, ladies and gentlemen, with the minister here, after this moment, we're going to go for lunch, and then the event continues. I would like to quickly ask that perhaps the members of the high table to please stand up so that we can have a group picture right here. This is important for press. Please, can I have all of this removed or moved, you know? Just have them moved quickly so that, please come to the, you stand up in the front here. Daniel, sound, background music. Okay, all right. Okay, no, that's not your responsibility, sir, please. Just, you come in front. Your Excellency, please. Closer. Okay. Are we good? All right. Please, can we have them smile? Please, can we have your credit-rated smile? Okay, that is great. That is great. Photographers, are we good? Is the background okay? We want to make sure we get this because we are not repeating this. It's not easy to bring all of these distinguished individuals who will come up here. All right, thank you very much. I'd like to quickly invite the minister with, is that somebody's phone? It has no credit rating at all. Okay. All right. Can we have the minister with NICA Governing Council members that are here? The minister and the NICA Governing Council members. The rest of you can take your seat. The minister with the NICA Governing Council members to please come up. Please come up. All right. All right. Are we ready? Photographer. Where's the official photographer? All right, that's NICA with the Governing Council members. All right, just a moment. I think we might. Thank you. I will need this to be moved, please. I need this to be moved. Please, I need that to be moved. Please quickly have it moved. This is what we agreed earlier on, but apparently. Just have it moved. I want all of this to be moved. We don't want to lose. Be careful though. Please pardon us, madams. We don't want to have. Can we have this moved, please? Have all of this moved. Thank you. These photo sessions are important because this is what is going to go into the annals of history. And of course, all of the journals and documentations of NICA is going up on our website. It's going into our different media as well as all of the strategic communication platforms that we need to basically explore. Thank you, gentlemen. You've done well, just as we agreed. It's okay. You can leave that there. Not to worry. I'm very sure. Thank you. So are we good? Official photographer, are you there? All right. So that is the minister with NICA Governing Council members. All right. Thank you very much. Can we have the minister with the NICA Registrar CEO, please, alone? Thank you very much. Please, can we have the minister with NICA Registrar CEO? All right. No. Hey, ladies, what are you people trying to do? Please, let's have Oga first. Then Oga and Madam will balance it all. Oh yeah, can we go ahead, photographer? All right, smile. Oga, please stand well. All right. No. You are allowed for this moment. This has presidential stamp. Please, can we have Madam please join us? It's important. Even the honorable minister is inviting you because she understands that the future is female. We have to balance this. Women are the best of the species. Am I right or right? Just for today. After today, you keep that. All right. Thank you very much. Can we have the minister with Governing Council and governors? The governors in the house here, please. Governing Council and the governors. Please, the governors, Taraba, we have Oshun, we have Kogi, and the Governing Council, please. Quickly, thank you very much. Madam, please pardon us because we are not going to have time to do this again. I know some of you have to catch your flight. So let's have the minister with the Governing Councils and the governors that are here, who, as a matter of fact, have become honorary fellows of the Institute, Chartered Institute, as a matter of fact. All right, thank you very much. Please, can we now have the minister with NICA president and registrar, please? Oh, sorry, don't be angry. I'm trying to make sure my rating is correct. Okay, are we good? Okay, after this, not a problem. Are you okay? All right, the minister and the vice president, which is female as well. Please, minister and vice president. Please, gentlemen, you want to sit down so that, are we good? You see, I'm feeling good with myself right now because I realized, madam, I support females. They're headed here. So on that note, I would like the female fellows to come and take a picture with the minister. Every female fellow to take a picture with the minister. If you are not female, don't go up there. Please, can we turn off the projector lights? Can we turn off the projector lights? The minister representing the president and the female fellows, please, can you come up? Please make sure you check that they are fellows. You are? Okay. All right, please, please make sure you snap. You know, women are photographed. All right, so Madam Minister, please don't leave yet. We would like to invite the keynote speakers to please come up with the minister, please. The keynote speakers. Quickly, let's do this quickly. Madam has other official engagement or assignment. The keynote speakers, please come up. All right, please smile. That is the Credit Guarantee Scheme as well as the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria. All right, please, do we have the sponsors here? Please, the sponsors to come up and join Madam Minister. Sponsors, you are the ones who made this possible. Don't worry, you are here with the presidents. This is presidency. Better take the picture now. All right, well done, Madam. I understand the Deputy Director of Finance is here as well. I recognize you all from the team of the Honorable Minister. Please, sponsors, to please come up and... Mr. Kalio, I will need your help at the moment, just a moment. Okay, thank you very much. You can have please the MC and the minister. All right, where's the photographer? Wait till let me take out the mic. Madam, please smile for them so that we know that we are together here. Thank you very much. Madam, please put your hands together for her. But before you sit, Kalio, come. Can I have the usher or one of your guests carry this up? Let Madam see it very well. That Madam has sought for our assistance. All right? And then we are going to be asking Madam and the team to also give us the support. Because you see this wonderful thing. It may not look like Aso Rock, but the color of Aso Rock is also here too. And then we want to make sure that this edifice is going to become a reality, just as we have the Ark as a reality. So as you have asked us for support, we are also extending the same request to you, ma. And so that we look forward to seeing exactly how we can work together to make this a reality. Thank you very much, ma. Please put your hands together for the minister. All right, I think we still have one more pictures to take. The Board of Fellows. Is the Board of Fellows here? The way you people answered. Madam, please, we would like to give your indulgence. The Board of Fellows say they won't let you go back to Abuja if you don't take these pictures with them. Please, the Board of Fellows. Board of Fellows, please. And then if we have the bank MDs in here as well, we join after this. The Board of Fellows, please. The Board of Fellows. These pictures are important. This is part of what you call media communications, so that we can always be reminded of this very wonderful event, the Unveiling, which has the presidential stamp on it. And this is sort of the landmark achievement of NICA. And of course, we recognize Professor Nalo, the Professor of Credit Administration in Nigeria. 30 years is no joke, you know, as it is. Are we done? The fellows want more? Okay, they are okay. Madam, please, you may have your seat. We've taken too much from you already. Please put your hands together for the Honorable Minister. All right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're done with the group picture, and I understand that lunch is going to be served. I imagine that this is the moment we've come. Your Excellencies, we want to say a big thank you for your time and all of your effort. We know how important this is, but this is a moment we need to also relax. So lunch is obviously going to be served, and if there's any other announcement, I'll be coming forth to make that announcement. I want to say a big thank you, and on that note, the official unveiling has hereby come to an end. Please put your hands together for NICA. So some of you will need to catch your flight back, and of course, those who need to return back to the office, you're free, but take out the time to network with one another. My name remains Stephen Ipalobo Lawson. I host the NTA Business Matter. Thank you very much, and God bless you.